The truth behind the secret son of King Charles III and Queen Camilla. Simon Charles Durante Day has fascinated the world with his compelling claims, alleging a royal connection that has remained shrouded in mystery for decades. With each passing year, the story gains momentum, sparking widespread curiosity and speculation. Join us as we examine birth certificates, family resemblances, and the timeline that led Simon to publicly declare his royal lineage. We'll delve deep into the compelling narrative of Simon Charles Durante Day, from his earliest memories and encounters to the legal battles he's faced. We leave no stone unturned in our quest for the truth. Number 1. The claim. For several years now, an intriguing claim has circulated suggesting that Simon Charles Durante Day may be the secret love child of King Charles and Queen Camilla. Since around 2015, Durante Day has steadfastly maintained his assertion about his alleged royal heritage. Simon Charles Durante Day was born in the 1960s in Gosport, England, before being adopted by a couple from Australia. It was during his early years that he allegedly began noticing similarities between himself and the king. Over time, Durante Day came to believe that he bore a striking resemblance to King Charles and that his adoption was part of a deliberate effort to conceal his true identity. Durante Day's claim centers around his belief that his birth parents are none other than King Charles and Queen Camilla, who were known to have had a close relationship during the 1960s. He asserts that his adoptive grandparents, who had strong connections to the royal family, played a role in arranging his adoption and ensuring his secret lineage remained hidden. Despite his persistent assertions, Simon Charles Durante Day has yet to provide concrete evidence to substantiate his claim. While he points to physical resemblances and alleged insider information, including statements from family members, his case remains largely circumstantial. Number 2. Durante Day's background. Born on April 5, 1966 in Gosport, UK, Simon Charles Durante Day had a relatively normal upbringing in Australia after being adopted by a couple named Karen and David Day. Growing up, he became increasingly curious about his biological origins, noticing uncanny similarities between himself and King Charles. In his quest for answers, Durante Day reached out to his adoptive grandparents, Winifred and Ernest Bolden, who he believed were involved in his adoption and held vital information about his true parentage. According to Durante Day, his grandparents had connections to the British royal family, which further fueled his suspicions. Durante Day also claimed that his adoptive mother, Karen Day, had disclosed to him on multiple occasions that he was, in fact, the biological son of King Charles and Queen Camilla. He maintained that his mother was sincere in her statements, which only served to deepen his determination to uncover the truth. As the years passed, Durante Day tirelessly sought evidence to support his claim, delving into legal records, researching his biological parents, and gathering information from those close to his adoptive family. He compiled a considerable body of circumstantial evidence, including photographs, letters, and testimonials from relatives, all pointing to a possible connection to the royal couple. However, without definitive DNA proof or official confirmation from the royal family, Durante Day's assertions remained shrouded in uncertainty. He faced skepticism from both the public and the media, who questioned his motives and the credibility of his evidence. In his pursuit of the truth, Durante Day also reached out to the various media outlets, giving interviews and sharing his story with the hope of garnering support and attention. His efforts resulted in sporadic media coverage, which at times intensified public interest in his claim. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, Durante Day remained resolute in his belief that he was King Charles and Queen Camilla's secret son. He viewed his quest as not just a personal journey, but also as a means to shed light on adoption practices and promote transparency in cases involving potential hidden identities. Number 3. The timeline. While the alleged timeline proposed by Durante Day suggests that he was conceived in 1966, public records present a different narrative, indicating that King Charles and Queen Camilla first met in the early 1970s. According to Simon Charles Durante Day, his alleged birth mother, who worked as a member of staff for the royal family, conceived him during a relationship with King Charles in 1966. This claim has raised eyebrows and fueled speculation, especially given the resemblance he bears to members of the royal family. However, it is essential to examine the available public records to shed light on the veracity of these assertions. Public records indicate that King Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles did not meet until the early 1970s, which contradicts Durante Day's allegations of being the son of Charles and Camilla. This discrepancy has been a point of contention in the ongoing debate surrounding his claim. Historic records show that Charles and Camilla first crossed paths in the early 1970s when they were both in their 20s. They reportedly developed a close friendship and eventually became romantically involved. Contrary to Durante Day's alleged timeline, public records indicate that King Charles and Camilla first met in the early 1970s. Their relationship blossomed during this period, ultimately leading to their marriage in 2005. This stark contrast between the alleged timeline and the established records has raised doubts among skeptics and prompted further investigation. Number 4. Physical evidence. One of the key arguments he presents is the physical resemblance between his children and members of the royal family. Simon Charles Durante Day believes that physical evidence, specifically the resemblance between his children and members of the royal family, supports his claim of being King Charles and Queen Camilla's secret son. He asserts that his children share distinct features with the royal family, reinforcing his belief in his hidden lineage. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, Simon Charles Durante Day points to the physical resemblance between his children and members of the royal family as a key argument supporting his claim. According to Durante Day, his children bear distinct features that he believes can only be attributed to his alleged biological parents, King Charles and Queen Camilla. Durante Day has shared photographs of his children, highlighting similarities such as facial structure, eye shape, and hair color. He believes that these resemblances go beyond mere coincidence and are indicative of a genetic connection to the royal family. He asserts that his children's features closely resemble those of Prince William and Prince Harry, King Charles' sons from his marriage to Princess Diana. He suggests that the striking resemblance between his children and the kings further strengthens his case. Number 5. Lack of documentation. His claims remain under scrutiny as the lack of concrete documentation and substantive evidence has left many questioning the validity of his assertions. The absence of concrete documentation and substantive evidence have been a significant hurdle for Simon Charles Durante Day in substantiating his claim of being the secret son of King Charles and Queen Camilla. Skeptics argue that without official records or DNA testing, his case remains speculative and lacks the necessary foundation to support his assertions. Durante Day's quest for documentation and substantive evidence has been an ongoing challenge. Despite his efforts to uncover records or obtain DNA testing, he's been met with obstacles and dead ends. Durante Day's search for documentation has taken him to various institutions, including adoption agencies and government archives, in an attempt to find any evidence that could corroborate his story. However, these efforts have yielded limited results, with many official records either missing or inaccessible due to legal restrictions or the passage of time. Number 6. Royal response. As of the latest update, neither the royal family, King Charles, nor Queen Camilla has officially responded to Simon Charles Durante Day's claims. The lack of a direct response from the royal camp has fueled further speculation and uncertainty surrounding the truth behind his assertions. The royal family's decision to remain silent on such matters align with their long-standing tradition of discretion. Speculative claims and unfounded rumors have been a part of their public life for centuries. By refraining from official comment, the royal household avoids granting undue attention or credibility to these assertions, safeguarding the integrity of the monarchy. However, the absence of an official response leaves room for various interpretations. Some speculate that the royal family's silence may be a strategic decision to avoid further public scrutiny or potentially provide legitimacy to Durante Day's claims. Others argue that the lack of response indicates the royal family's dismissal of his allegations as baseless and unworthy of acknowledgement. Without an official statement or response from individuals involved, it's difficult to determine the true nature of Durante Day's alleged connection to the royal family. The absence of a definitive resolution has allowed the story to persist in the public consciousness, captivating the imaginations of those intrigued by the possibility of a hidden royal lineage. Number 7. Legal attempts. In his relentless pursuit of the truth, Durante Day's taken various legal routes in his bid to have his claims officially recognized. While his efforts have garnered significant media interest, he has yet to achieve the desired outcome. Durante Day's legal journey began with attempts to obtain access to his adoption records. In Australia, where he resides, he lodged multiple Freedom of Information requests, hoping to shed light on his mysterious origins. However, these requests were repeatedly denied, leaving him with more questions than answers. Undeterred, he decided to explore other legal avenues. One of Durante Day's most notable legal attempts was the request to the Australian High Court for a DNA test. He sought to compare his DNA with that of his alleged parents, King Charles and Queen Camilla, to establish a biological connection. Unfortunately, the High Court dismissed his request, citing a lack of jurisdiction and inefficient evidence. In addition to his Australian legal pursuits, Durante Day's also explored options in the United Kingdom. He sought assistance from British solicitors to challenge the legitimacy of his adoption, hoping to unravel the truth about his parentage. However, he encountered legal complexities and hurdles, resulting in no significant breakthroughs thus far. Number 8. Public interest. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the claims made by Simon Charles Durante Day have ignited a remarkable level of public interest, largely due to the high-profile nature of his alleged parents and the intrigue surrounding hidden royal lineages. Durante Day's story has captured the imaginations of many individuals fascinated by the possibility of a secret love child of King Charles and Queen Camilla. The public interest in Durante Day's claims has been attributed to several factors. Firstly, the notion of a hidden royal lineage taps into a long-standing fascination with royalty and the idea of hidden connections to the aristocracy. The public's always been captivated by stories of secret affairs, hidden heirs, and undisclosed family ties within royal circles. Secondly, the physical resemblances Durante Day claims between himself, his children, and members of the royal family have fueled curiosity and speculation. People are naturally drawn to stories involving striking resemblances and the potential for hidden identities, especially when they involve prominent figures like the royal family. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, Durante Day's claims have sparked significant interest due to the high-profile nature of the alleged parents. Number 9. Media coverage. Since they first came to light, Durante Day's claims have been the subject of intense media coverage. While some media outlets have approached the story with cautious interest, others have maintained a more skeptical stance. The result is a mosaic of coverage that paints a complex picture of his quest for recognition. Numerous interviews with Durante Day have been conducted, allowing him to share his side of the story. He's provided intriguing details about his alleged adoption, claiming to have spent his early years in a home for unmarried mothers, where he was later adopted by a couple with connections to the royal household. These revelations have fueled the curiosity of both the public and the media, who have eagerly followed his journey. Number 10. Criticism. While some view his assertions with intrigue, critics argue that his motives are driven by attention-seeking or potential financial gain. Critics contend that Durante Day's insistence on his royal lineage is merely a bid for attention. They argue that such sensational claims attract media coverage, granting him the spotlight he desires. However, it is essential to consider that Durante Day's persistence could be rooted in a genuine desire to uncover his identity, as many individuals yearn to know their biological origins. Another point of contention raised by critics is the possibility of financial gain. They suggest that Durante Day's assertions may be an attempt to secure financial compensation or inherit a portion of the royal family's wealth. Number 11. Lack of DNA evidence. Despite the curiosity surrounding Durante Day's alleged lineage, no official DNA test has been conducted to confirm or refute his claims. Obtaining a DNA sample from members of the royal family for such a test would be exceedingly difficult and is highly unlikely. The lack of definitive DNA evidence has been a significant obstacle in determining the truth behind Simon Charles Durante Day's claim of being the secret son of King Charles and Queen Camilla. Without DNA testing, it's challenging to establish a direct biological connection between Durante Day and his alleged parents. Despite his numerous legal pursuits and appeals for DNA testing, Durante Day's been unable to obtain the necessary evidence to support his claim. The Australian High Court dismissed his request for a DNA test, and his efforts to challenge the legitimacy of his adoption in the United Kingdom have faced legal complexities. As a result, the absence of concrete DNA evidence leaves his assertions open to speculation and interpretation. Number 12. Impact on Durante Day. Durante Day's belief in his royal lineage has presented him with numerous challenges. Growing up, he struggled with a sense of identity and belonging, often feeling like an outsider. The weight of his mystery parentage loomed over his interactions with family, friends, and even romantic partners. The impact of Durante Day's royal parentage belief has extended to his relationships. The strain caused by his conviction has tested the bonds with his adoptive parents, siblings, and extended family. Over the years, misunderstandings and different perspectives have arisen, further complicating matters. Believing in his royal parentage has taken a psychological and emotional toll on Durante Day. The weight of carrying such a significant secret has led to periods of anxiety, frustration, and even despair. He's been on the emotional roller coaster of hope and disappointment for most of his life, challenging Durante Day's resilience and resolve. Number 13. Expert opinions. Historians and experts on the British royal family approach Durante Day's claims with a critical eye. Their skepticism primarily stems from the absence of concrete evidence supporting his assertions. Despite Durante Day's resemblance to King Charles and alleged insider knowledge, experts argue that more substantial proof is required to establish direct biological link. One of the central concerns raised by skeptics is the absence of official documentation to corroborate Durante Day's claims. Birth records, adoption papers, and other vital documents are crucial in establishing familial connections. Without such evidence, experts are hesitant to accept Durante Day's assertions as fact. In any claim of this nature, the burden of proof lies with the claimant. Skeptics argue that Durante Day has not provided sufficient concrete evidence to support his case. While personal anecdotes and resemblance can be compelling, experts emphasize the need for indisputable proof to validate such a significant claim. Number 14. Continued claims. Despite the widespread skepticism and lack of evidence, Durante Day continues to assert his claim and seek recognition as the son of King Charles and Queen Camilla. He continues to explore all available avenues to obtain the evidence needed to substantiate his claims. His efforts include engaging with legal experts, seeking media coverage, and appealing to the public's interest in the hopes of gaining support and attention for his cause. His quest goes beyond personal validation. He views his case as an opportunity to promote transparency in adoption practices and shed light on potential hidden identities. By sharing his story and raising public awareness, he aims to advocate for the rights of individuals in similar situations and encourage greater openness in cases involving concealed lineages. Number 15. Current status. Obtaining legal and official recognition for a claim as significant as being the secret son of a member of the British royal family is a complex and rigorous process. Simon Charles Durante Day's claim as of September 2021 has not met the necessary standards of evidence to be recognized by any official or legal body. To establish his lineage, Durante Day would need to provide concrete and compelling evidence that establishes a direct biological connection to King Charles and Queen Camilla. This would typically involve DNA testing, which can be a challenging process when it comes to members of the royal family due to their privacy and the sensitive nature of their personal information. Adoption records, which Durante Day claims will contain information about his birth parents, are generally confidential and subject to legal restrictions. Accessing such records and using them as evidence would require navigating legal hurdles and potentially obtaining a court order to release the relevant information. While Durante Day's claim to be the secret son of King Charles and Queen Camilla continues to captivate public interest, it remains unproven and lacks recognition from any official or legal body. The evidence presented by Durante Day, though intriguing, has not been sufficient to convince experts or the royal family. As the case continues to unfold, it will be interesting to see if any new developments emerge that shed further light on this captivating mystery. What do you think about this video? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more amazing content. Thanks for watching.